Hey everyone, Dr. Jack Gaddy Hilton here with some thoughts. Alignment isn't about becoming someone new. It's about living in a way that actually matches who you already know you're supposed to be. When I developed the path model, part of its theoretical foundations was hope theory. Hope theory is all about having the agency and pathways about moving forward, which naturally develop hopefulness in people. A lot of people say they want to live aligned, but they've never really slowed down enough to ask, aligned with what? So, here where it starts. I want to encourage you to maybe begin reflecting about who you are, your values, who you feel called to be, your relationship with God, connections to family, your roles. And I want you to first get honest about who you're trying to be, not who people expect you to be, not who feels easiest to be, but who you feel called to be when it actually costs you something. I find that so many people, whether in the workplace environments, at churches, and even in our family roles, we adopt these performative responses, what people want us to be, in order to maybe avoid being vulnerable or in order to have connection. But the issue is this: you can't name things clearly if you spend your life in a performance state or reacting instead of deliberately choosing. Second, I want you to maybe notice the gap. Where are your actions not lining up with your values? I mentioned that the path model, its presence alignment, alignment is all about values exploration. And I don't want you to necessarily, when you're reflecting, to beat yourself up, but to actually see it. Because most people don't struggle with alignment. They struggle essentially when they're avoiding what they already know. I want you to just sit with that and reflect a little bit about your values and if whether or not you're operating, aligned with your own values, or are you maybe in a performative state or people pleasing role. And third, just take one step that reflects that version of you. Not a full life overhaul, not some big dramatic change. Just maybe decide to make one intentional decision today that matches who you say you are. And I think when you're able to do that, you're able to see that alignment just isn't built in big moments. It's built in very small, consistent choices that we make. It's all about intentionality. Part of alignment in the path model, maybe a little quote you can say to yourself: let me choose who I am today, or let me choose how to respond in this moment. And this is essentially where hope actually starts to grow, because when you realize you're not stuck, that there are pathways forward and that you have the skill set and capabilities, maybe you just needed a clearer direction and a way forward. Well, hopefulness naturally just kind of improves. And that's essentially what alignment is. So when you're thinking about, "Well, I feel misaligned," just take a step back and essentially look into yourself and say, am I aligned with who I am? If not, let me choose who I want to be today. Just wanted to leave you with that.